Hello and welcome to Past Our Prime Sports Podcast with Joe Laporta and Frank Callenberg.
Hey, how you doing, Joe? Doing
Good. What up, Frank?
Doing good. Feeling good. Back for number 3.
Yes.
Can't believe it, but we're here again.
We're doing that thing. We keep moving on.
Hey, I feel like every day we're just progressing. Thank you guys for the views on Twitch. We get about 30 every time. Or we just put 2 new YouTube videos up, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, we're trying new things, guys. We're improving and moving along. And we're glad everyone's here for the ride with us. So the interesting thing today, Frank, the new owner of the Mets, Steve Cohen, came on today.
Yes, he did. He had a great interview. And a team that constantly is always like, are they good? Are they not good? The best way to truly rebuild is at the top. So with new ownership and the way he handled himself today, I think the Mets might be in the right direction.
Yes, with this new owner now, he's a multi-billionaire. He's a Long Island kid. Grew up watching the Mets. Actually got tickets to all the way up top, upper deck seats to watch Mets. And he sounds like a Long Island guy when you hear him talking. That
he does? New York, he's got that New York accent? Okay.
But he has not the New York, he has a Long Island accent,
Not the worst, but,
But he's a lot of great things. He talked about how they're going to build a team from the farm system. And that's what you have to do. Look how Cashman did with the Yankees. Started in the farm system. He grew Judge. Grew all these other great players, the catcher, everyone.
Yeah, that's
what
it.
You have to grow from the farm system and grow that way. And he said, when we do need to plug in guys, that's when we'll spend the money. We need a center fielder, we'll go buy a center fielder. But let's start from within. He said,
if he at least he's talking about like progressing instead of just saying like, oh, we got it or we're going to try to rebuild. He's actually understanding like, hey, we have problems and we need to be better.
Unlike where the Wilpons used to be like, let's hopefully it's a good season if we see September. Which is a bad ownership point of view. You don't want to see September.
Nobody wants to be a middle of the pack team.
No. You want to win the last game of the season. That's your goal for any sport, any team. You want to win the last game of the season.
That is a great statement.
And an owner like that, he's going to do that.
Yeah.
Give him a few years. Let him get the right people in. Let him fix what's broken. And boom, in a few years, they'll be a top contender. They'll hang out with the Yankees. He even compared himself to the Dodgers. Dodgers grew for years within the system. They're not sitting in. They made some great trades, bought some great players, plug it in, and they finally did it this year.
Great trade. Look at them now with Mookie.
How many times have they been in the World Series the last decade?
Too many.
They
just never this close.
And they finally did it this year. Even though it's short season, but they were the best team.
Easily. It still happened. The championship is still a championship no matter how many games you played.
Yes. And every team was brought down to a small scale, so there's no excuses.
Not at all. It was a leveled playing field that everybody played on.
But, it looks like a great future for the Mets and a lot of great things for an organization. And hopefully things start turning. We'll see in a few years.
Hey, if New York's getting better, I'm always happy.
Oh, yes. We always want to see New York teams do great. So talking about New York teams, let's go to NFL. Let's do Buffalo first. We'll do Buffalo. We'll start with a good team first.
Yeah, I can't believe. Well, actually, if you follow me on TikTok, you do know that I picked the Bills to win this game.
Yeah, you picked
Single
the Bills
hit.
this week, but what about the other weeks? You struggled a bit.
That was it. We're not talking about last week. All right, we're not talking about the week before that. We're talking about this week right here. I knew for a fact Buffalo was going to win this game because I knew Josh Allen needed to make another statement to get back in that MVP talk. And you can't have a better statement game than going for 31 for 38, 415 passing yards, and 3 passing touchdowns. You can't compare it to Russell Wilson's 28 of 41, 390 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And this is who we said last week easily was the MVP. Josh Allen played better than the MVP of the NFL right now.
Yes, I'm glad you brought up MVP. Let's talk about. Have you seen Patrick Mahomes' numbers? Have you seen his numbers?
But his numbers are always the same. They're always like that. Like it's like the same thing with Russell Westbrook. Like when Russell Westbrook didn't win MVP again, it was because he didn't do anything different. He averaged another triple-double. So they're never going to give it to him again. And also look at it. The Chiefs defense can save them. The Seahawks defense cannot. They can't do anything.
So you don't see MVP as the best player. You see the guy who carries the team. Because on paper,
in the title.
Patrick Mahomes is the best player.
Okay.
On paper, if you look just at pure stats, but if you look as a scout eye and everything, you'll see that
it's the
better.
most valuable. It's not the best player. It's the most valuable player. If you take Russell out, they might. I don't even know if they win a game. If you look, Seattle, they couldn't run the ball with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Carson's gone, Rashard Penny's gone,
Mm-hmm.
and not Thomas Rolls. The other backup's gone. They're down to their fourth string, DJ Dallas, who I thought it was DJ. It's D-E-E-J. I didn't even know that. You don't even know this running back.
Mm-hmm.
And still, DK Metcalf had a great game. Metcalf gets very upset if you call him DJ. He let that be known on Twitter. He does not like to be called DJ.
Yes.
DJ is his teammate, not him. He had a great game, seven catches for 108 yards. However, you saw how great Jadarius White is on the Bills. Tyler Lockett, 4 catches, 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Clamped him. But I think the number one difference is Buffalo got a Batman. They got Stephon Diggs, who leads the league right now in receiving yards.
Yeah.
Last year, he was crying for catches, and everybody was like, oh, shut up over there. You're getting fed. He goes here and gets completely fed, leads the league in receptions. Leads the league in receiving yards. 9 catches, 118 yards receiving with 12 targets. And he let John Brown be a Robin, which John Brown last year couldn't be the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
How it is, if some receivers are Batman, some receivers are Robins, and that's just the way it is.
Odds in any sport, you have your Batman and Robin.
You have to. John Brown needed to be a Robin. His Robin numbers are crazy. Besides Stephon Diggs, John Brown had 8 catches for 99 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's getting a little sad right now is the story of Devin Singletary. Last game, Devin Singletary had two rushes for 1 yard. 1 yard. Zach Moss is taking everything from him. And it's rough because Devin Singletary was supposed to be the future.
Yeah, but you have to go with the hot hands.
You have to. You can't stop him. He's been, ever since he's been back from an injury, he's been great.
You know, the NFL is what have you done for me today kind of league.
That's how it's always going to be.
And once you get called up to that spot and you dominate, you ain't losing that spot in the NFL. I don't care who you are, how much money you making. If you're the top player at that moment, you're playing.
Look at Brady.
Yes.
Brady. That's Brady's career.
Mm-hmm.
What you just said is the nutshell of Brady's career. You can't change anything about it. I mean, we're not going to talk about Brady's last game. That was, it's bad when the Monday night game of the Patriots and Jets was a completely better game than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Saints. It was horrendous.
Well, let's bring it back to the Tampa Bay and New Orleans game.
It was a true dominance of the Saints defensive line. How you were bringing up how the defensive line of the Buccaneers were so great.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints defensive line you don't really know them, but all they do is play hard defense. They completely dominated the front 5 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, we always said that was a weakness of the Bucs was their front
Yeah.
line. That was never what they're known for. And if you play against a good defense, stuff like that's going to happen, especially now that they're exposed.
Yeah.
That's not good. Now you have great tape on how to expose them.
And it was also supposed to be the welcome back party for Antonio Brown, where he only had 3 catches for 31 yards.
Oh, it was the wrong welcome back party.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Jameis Winston welcome back party.
Yeah, I'm getting.
He even got to play.
Little EWs.
Come on, he even got to play a little.
Well, that wasn't even those 2 quarterbacks weren't even the star. To be honest, Taysom Hill was kind of dogging the Bucs. He had 7 rushes for 54 yards, completed 2 of 2 passes for 48 yards. He was a momentum killer for the Bucs.
He might be the future of the Saints.
Well, he was always supposed to be the future of the Saints. They just don't know when Drew is going to retire.
Yeah, but now you're in that Patriots situation now.
Yeah.
Where you have a great guy waiting in the wing, and they lost both of them. You don't want to lose both of them.
Hey, man, I'm not. But also, I felt like the Bucs gave up the run too fast. In this game alone, they rushed 4 times.
Well, you have to remember, too, once you start falling behind, you know you can start slinging.
But 4 rushes, and I'm not even including Blaine Gabbert's taking a knee. We're talking Ronald Jones, who had 3 games in a row of 100-plus yards. He had 3 rushes for 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hand it off once to Leonard Fournette.
Especially, he's a dominant player.
Yeah, he did.
And he never really got going this year so far with them.
He had 1 great game, got hurt, and then sat behind Ronald Jones, and now it's starting to come back. Like, Leonard Fournette had a great game receiving. He had 6 catches for 41 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, but not when you lose 38-3.
Yeah.
You can't play football like that. That doesn't win games. If you don't have a balance or if you're just a one-dimensional team, you don't win.
Oh yeah, you need that balance. At least you need to scare the defense so that you might run.
At least.
Because now when you're doing that, they have extra guys backing up. They play zone differently. They can cover the corners. Can do things differently now, and you can gamble with the blitzes a little more now. Because
Of course.
if you send a guy from the edge, you're not worried about that run up the middle.
No. You can send the house if you want.
Yeah. So now, what do you think about Tom Brady? There's a lot of rumors out there that Bruce Arians aren't getting along in the locker room.
Well, I can definitely see that happening because Bruce Arians has the amazing resume of Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Ben Roethlisberger. I think he might have had Kurt Warner.
Oh, he what's the word I'm looking for? His Kurt Warner, he revived his career again.
There you go. So of course he has that high and mighty about him, but we're also talking about Tom Brady, 6-time Super Bowl champion.
Yes, but if you remember, he had the same problem with Bill Belichick. The only difference is any squirrel was in-house.
Bill Belichick wanted to trade him.
But everything was in-house. We didn't know things until things got out there. Like, when you want to trade him when he sent out feelers.
Yeah.
With Bruce Arians comes on after the game the next day and be like, Tom Brady didn't listen to me. But Bill Belichick will tell you, on to next week.
Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be, and that's why they were so dominant, because they understood that every house has problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if you let it out there, then it's everybody's problem.
Yes.
But of course they're gonna have problems. They're two strong-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
They have a great system, but their guard play and center is terrible. I feel like tackles, they have it, because Cameron Jordan was coming up, but he didn't really dominate the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was really Sheldon Rankins, Malcolm Brown, and the interior line. Shy, I don't know his last name, but I know it's like Shy. And they just dominated the game where Brady couldn't step up. And then there it goes.
Well, like I said, Brady needs more time. He was always a play action quarterback.
Of course.
He always run the system, likes going through his check downs. And when you can't do that, when you don't give Tom Brady enough time, he ain't like Big Ben where he can extend the play another couple of seconds. He's not like Russell Wilson that could just keep running out of the pocket all day until he finds open receiver, or Aaron Rodgers where he can wait for the receiver to finally burn the guy and throw it downfield 60, 70 yards. Tom Brady's a check down quarterback that needs to scare the run game to anything happen. And once that happens, it all clicks. They put up big numbers.
They have all the talent on paper. They'll be a great Madden team, the Buccaneers. But can they? I still believe they can still make that push, but they need interior lineman play.
What wins games?
Blocking, tackling. Wins games.
It's the trenches. Whoever wins the trench warfare wins the game.
Blocking, tackling.
And we always said that. It's the unsung heroes.
Of course. If your interior lineman can't win the line of scrimmage, then you ain't winning the game.
Yep.
I don't care who your receivers are.
Now, what do you think about last night's game? We'll go to the Jets and Pats.
The Patriots were losing majority of that game, and I don't get it. Joe Flacco was actually playing decent, and Rashard Perryman was just big balling against us. Mm-hmm. 5 catches, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Well, like we said last week, what are the Jets good at? They're good at losing. You know they're going to blow a game.
Did you know that last play of the game where the Patriots kicked the field goal, they had 12 men on the field?
Yes.
That, if you're a professional, you just got to get it together. And the Patriots, I can't believe Cam Newton played as well as he did. No passing touchdowns, but 27 of 35 for 274 yards. For a Cam Newton, that's a great game.
That's what Cam Newton been doing all year. It's just, this is a really bad team you're playing against.
Yeah, so... But they also established an amazing run game. The Patriots had 14 rushes for 71 yards with Damian Harris, 12 rushes for 56 with Rex Burkhead, and then 10 rushes for 16 yards with
running pure Wildcat.
That's what it looks like.
And that's what they're doing. They turned to the Miami Dolphins, 09?
Yeah, it's the craziest story was 2 years ago. The Patriots insiders were all talking about this player, Jacoby Myers. Mm-hmm. But he's always was pushed down the depth chart because of the other talent we had. But now with Edelman on injury, and so is N'Keem Harry, he came up. He had 12 receptions for 169 yards. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's the Jets defense, but he carved them up. Yeah. Carved them up. But the only highlight for the Jets, personally, was my man from Rockaway, Folarinzo Fatukasi, forcing a fumble.
Yes.
Again, on James White. It might be one of James White. James White might have fumbled 10 times in his career. And a kid that we're both from caused the fumble. I think that's a great story.
Oh, it's
Had to
amazing.
throw that in there.
It's very rare you see someone that you actually knew personally.
I played high school football with
Just
that kid.
think about it. Not even in the NFL, playing a real game, not sitting on the bench.
Nope.
And starred on the Monday Night Football game.
His teammate is Frank Gore,
Yeah.
who's still doing it.
Yeah.
Still. Let me see Frank Gore. Frank Gore last night, 12 carries, 46 yards. And he's about 38.
Like, he's one of the longest legs in running backs.
And he also came into the NFL without an ACL.
Yeah.
He had 2 ACL tears at the University of Miami. What?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, sometimes with ACL tears, we're talking about maybe it's better getting early in your career, where you can fix it up so you're not in that long period of trying to rehab it.
I think what messed everything up about the ACL injury was Adrian Peterson. Because he came back so fast and so dominant, now that people expect that to be the standard.
Well,
And it's Adrian Peterson's a different breed.
science and everything's getting a lot better. So
Of course, modern medicine's advancing.
even with the elbow tear now for pitchers.
Yeah, well, speaking of elbow tears, besides for pitchers, Big Ben, is he hurt again?
Yeah, they're talking about he's hurt.
I mean, Joe, you might have the COVID fantasy team. It's going from Cam Newton, now Big Ben. They have, you said what, 3 other people on their roster?
Either injured. Yeah.
Like, do they win their next game? Do they stay undefeated if Big Ben can't play?
Say it, I don't even know who's their backup. Who is Pittsburgh?
If I told you right now, I'd be lying to your face.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie to you. I have no clue.
That's the thing. Can they produce? Look it up. See who
I will tell you, Steelers roster.
Especially now with this Steelers team. What you want? We'll go into it. They played the Cowboys, almost lost that game.
That was a rough game.
And now you go into it with a backup, and 3 other players supposedly have COVID now on that Pittsburgh team.
So they might have to shut down their
They
system.
can't because they already used their bye week.
Mason Rudolph
Oh, Rudolph
Again.
again.
missed again, hit in the head with the helmet.
Yes.
Is their starting quarterback unless he loses the job to Joshua Dobbs. Do you know who Joshua Dobbs is?
Nope.
Yeah, then. So yeah.
Right
Yeah,
over my
yeah,
head. I have
it's-
no idea who that is.
Don't worry about it. And they play a Bengals team next week who fight very hard.
Oh yeah, when they lose where like
Oh,
they were winning most of the game.
it's not a blowout.
Yeah.
The Bengals do not get blown out. They're not a team that's going to get blown out.
Well, they're the upset team. They're the team that upset a playoff contender and ruin their chances.
Yeah, because they play hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you call for a team, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it, it depends on how long Big Ben's out. So say if he's out for the 2 weeks and the Ravens win twice, they're now tied with the Ravens for first place instead of having a great 2-game lead on them.
Yeah.
That's huge for
Well, look at
playoffs.
the playoff picture. So who is in the playoff picture?
So
The
right
AFC.
now in the
Do
AFC,
AFC first.
okay, so the AFC, we have the divisional leaders. It is Buffalo at 7-2, Tennessee's at 7-2, Pittsburgh's 8-0, Kansas City's 8-1. So right now, the team that would get that new bot, remember, there's new playoff standards.
Mm-hmm.
Only the top team gets. There's an extra playoff team, but now only the top team gets a bye. So as of right now in the AFC, the Steelers would get the bye. But the Chiefs only have 1 loss this whole year. So they'll most likely get the bye. And as a team coming off the Super Bowl, you want that extra week of rest besides your bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the NFC, horrendous. It's 6-2 from Seattle, 6-2 from Saints, 6-2 from Green Bay, and the upsetting 3-4-1 from the Philadelphia Eagles. As crazy as it sounds, the Eagles are 3 games away from being the number 1 team in the NFC.
Yeah. And they're not even to win the division right now.
Nope.
People talking about the Giants are looking good, which me and your both know. It's blowing my mind and pissing me off.
I don't know how they just. So you'd rather them just take the L's again? Just.
They're not going to be the Seahawks years ago where they were 7-9. Come back, they have something to build off of.
Yeah.
We're still a mess.
Yeah.
Like the only wins that Danny Dimes have are against Washington. Did you know that? That's the only time he ever won was against Washington.
That's rough, especially for a rookie, like a new quarterback. He's not even like really gaining great experience because he just beats 1 team.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough to have.
And also, did you hear about Tate now? Tate wants out.
What? Where's he gonna go?
He
He's the third string on a bum team.
He asked for a release, and the Giants laughed at him. We're not paying that money. Because in the NFL, when you release, you have to still pay the guarantee.
Of course.
They ain't paying his guarantee.
No shot. He signed for an outrageous number. Being that age, he only could sign with the Giants.
So he's stuck with them because they can't trade him.
He's a third string receiver on a bum team.
Yes.
On a 2-7 team. No one's trading for that. Nobody wants that. Sometimes receivers, they're just divas.
Oh, they're the divas of the NFL.
They're just,
really are.
I don't understand it. It's just rough.
Especially ones who aren't putting the numbers we expect from them.
Like Golden Tate should be having a really good season because Sterling Shepard has barely played. And Evan Ingram has been dropping.
Ingram can't catch a ball for his life.
Well,
He can't catch a ball
last
for his
game he
life.
had a great game.
Oh, listen. Ingram, this is what he does. He'll make one spectacular catch and drop the 3 easiest passes in the world.
Oh, yeah. He can't catch it if it's it.
Yeah.
But if it's over here, he's got it.
Now, do you think the Giants stick with that, though?
I don't understand the draft of him. No offense to anybody out there, but I don't draft a 6'1" tight end that can't block. Because he's too slow to be a receiver. And he's too small to be a tight end.
Well, the Giants, if you ever look at the Giants really over the last, 2 decades, they don't pay tight ends. They never do.
Well,
They either draft it or find a quick plug-in. They don't believe spending money in tight ends. And once Ingram's contract's up, if he wants too much, he's gone. Giants will restart again because a lot of great tight ends come out of college these days. These guys,
God.
they could block, they could catch. And a lot of these guys look like wide receivers.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. They have the size. Evan Ingram's a mismatch because of his quickness.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the same size as safeties.
Yeah.
And he's not jumping out the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the same thing as a Kelsey, a Gronk, a Kittle.
Yeah.
Even Darren Waller this year. Dogging this year. Putting the Raiders on the map. The Raiders are very slept on. Let me see. Their record is...
And Ingram can't stay healthy.
Nope.
Cannot stay healthy.
Nope.
Has he even played a full season yet?
As crazy as it is, the Raiders are in second place in their division right now.
Mm-hmm.
In any other division, they'd be biting at the ankles really close for first place. They just play in the same division as the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But they're the one loss of the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only team this year to beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr, and Darren Waller beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
No other 8 other teams tried it. Couldn't do it. But the Raiders did it.
Well, Gruden's a very good coach. He has great game plans. His problem is he has to win the locker room.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened when he first came in. He struggled with that locker room.
Of course.
And once you start getting guys out, guys coming in, you start making your own team.
Yeah.
Same thing with your boy in Detroit. Who's the head coach?
Oh, Matt Prater?
Prater, same thing.
Yeah.
He struggled to get that locker room.
He's got it now.
But once you get that locker room, these players play harder. They play, even the Giants, even as bad as the Giants, these guys are still playing.
Oh, no, they played their hearts out for Joe Judge.
It's amazing.
They played their hearts out for that man.
And you know what? I would like to see Judge develop with this team. I really would. I would like to see him for 2 or 3 years, just see what he can do with this team. If they can get the draft picks right, it'd be great.
So if they get a top 5 pick, they get some interior lineman help. They help out Will Hernandez on the other side. They give Danny Dimes some more time. You guys have the receiving corps in Shepard, Tate if he stays.
But that's why I don't want the Giants to win. We need to have a high draft pick.
Okay.
Either if we get a top 5 pick, we can trade out of and gain more picks.
Of course.
Because there's a lot of, this Fields this year. You have Trevor Lawrence. So if you get a top pick and you could trade them off, you'll get a golden ransom.
100%. And they're a team that technically they don't need a quarterback. Okay. So you being a Giants fan.
Yes.
If you're a top 3 pick, do you pass on Justin Fields?
It's hard, man. They're saying Trevor Lawrence and Fields is 1A, 1B right now. And Lawrence is, he has COVID, right? Is that what they're
Yes,
saying?
he just missed the last game, and that's how Notre Dame just beat Clemson.
Yes.
So it shows how valuable he actually is. It's not that just Clemson is way better at recruiting and just have a stacked team. Because Notre Dame played Clemson, I think, last year.
Notre Dame is a beast team. They said they might go undefeated this year.
They might. I think they just took number 1.
So, but Lawrence might be once-in-a-lifetime player, but every year, what do they always say? This quarterback's going to be the number one greatest guy, number one since Luck.
Well, nah, see,
Every year
I
there's
miss
another
Luck.
quarterback.
I think
takes
the
him to
Colts.
the next Luck.
I think the Colts miss Luck too, though, because Phillip Rivers is. Now you see me, now you don't. You're one of those players because he looked great last week against Detroit. Plays the Ravens this week. Remember how we were talking about the Ravens need to get back on track with this game, or this game. This game was going to show two things: either the Ravens are a flake, or the Colts are a flake.
Yeah,
and it showed that the Ravens are legit and the Colts aren't. Colts went from putting up 41 to 10 points, and it's so the Colts will beat the bad teams bad, but they can't beat the good teams, which is not good because I thought they were on the road to becoming a championship team with Andrew Luck.
Yes, but plans change. Once he left,
now
it's like, okay, they got Jacoby, and they thought, okay, can we run it with him? No, he wasn't good enough.
No, he didn't.
Now you get Phillip Rivers, who's a veteran, which you figure, all right, can he Tom Brady this? Can he come in here with his own thinking, his own idea? They have an O-line.
They have the best offensive line in the league.
They have an O-line, so now you have Phillip Rivers has time. Do they have the greatest wide receiver core? No.
Not really. Ty has yet to have a 100-yard game without Andrew Luck.
So you have to figure that.
Without Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck hasn't played in 3 years.
The thing is, though, Andrew Luck was the next Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah, he was that when they were how you were just saying the next generational quarterback. It is Andrew Luck. That is who exactly everybody thought he was.
He was the future, but now we have Patrick Mahomes as the future.
Yes,
but going back to this draft now, who do you like better, Lawrence or Fields?
Lawrence, any day.
Okay, so then you have top 3. Would you take
as a
Fields
Patriot
top
fan?
3? So yeah, Patriots land number 3. Jets get number 1. Say they take Lawrence, right?
I think we take Fields. I think you can't pass on that rookie contract. Yes, we have an amazing deal for Cam, but Cam's playing to get paid this year.
Okay, so let's reverse it now. Patriots get 1. They take Lawrence.
Yep.
Whoever's 2 is 2. Jets are number 3. You take Fields.
That's a really tough decision.
Because now I was listening today, Adam Schefter really loves
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold loves him. He says they believe for that top 3 pick for Fields or Lawrence, the Jets could get 4 number 1s.
4 number 1s?
4 number 1s. He said this.
What is this, Herschel Walker to the Vikings?
He says they believe that might be top price. He believes they could get the 1 switch.
Of course.
They could get 1 next year, another 1, maybe another 1 or 2. That's how high these 2 quarterbacks are rated, Fields and Lawrence.
The thing that's really crazy talking about the draft, though, is that people are forgetting that Houston traded their first-round pick to the Dolphins. And the Dolphins are kind of on a little run right now.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's has a top 5 pick right now.
Yeah.
So you're talking about maybe a playoff team getting a top 5 player coming out of the draft with the Dolphins and turning that franchise around, as we were talking about with Joe Judge getting in the locker room. Brian Flores has that locker room, even after changing Tua in for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Let me tell you, as a head coach who just made that move, you lost a lot of veteran respect. If you listen to Pat McAfee, he talks about you win locker rooms by the veterans in the locker room.
Of course.
So the coach talks through the veterans. And by cutting Fitzpatrick's throat like that,
it was.
He lost a lot of veterans. The young guys you got, now the young guys love it now.
Yeah, because they're thinking of the future. They're like, I can get in soon too.
In practice, if I do this, he'll give me that shot. But now, if you need, just say a year down the line, say next year, all right, they're a true contender. Everything's running great. They need 1 or 2 plugins. They're not going to get those free agents. These veterans are like, nah, I played 1 bad game. I'm done.
He wasn't even playing bad. I think they were like,
that's what I'm saying.
Great record. He was balling.
But these are the ideas in these veterans' head now. Oh man, he's willing to cut throat to play a rookie. That's not a good thought.
Never even thought of that.
On paper, has it look as a good move so far?
They're 2-0 too.
But you have to think about the locker room.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aspects of the game that people don't think about. And now that's out there in the locker room. Because how would you feel like if you played in college or high school and like all of a sudden a freshman starting over you?
Nah,
you played great, but this freshman's the next talk of town.
Yeah, it's definitely disrespectful.
And people won't get recruited to that. And they're like, oh, listen, this is what this head coach does. Same thing in NFL. If you don't think these guys talk,
Oh, come on now.
And
But the way
Fitzpatrick
social
has
media
money.
is too,
Fitzpatrick has a lot of connections too.
he's been on 17 different teams.
Yes.
So he's got voices everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's the type to badmouth the player. Like, he took it on the chin. Like, of course he was hurt.
No, they're not the coach.
I don't think he would. I think his locker room mates would, but I don't think he would.
You'd be surprised, man.
I mean, of course, it's the NFL. Anything could happen.
So say one of his buddies called. Listen, Mammy's interested in me. How was your experience?
It depends on the buddy that's calling. Depends on how he likes him.
Say next year Fitzpatrick ain't there.
Oh, then,
That'd be cool.
yeah, if he's not there next year, then it's going to be a
these are
different
things you're worried
conversation.
about.
Of
And
course.
there's other veterans guys on that team we're not even talking about that won't be there next year either.
Yeah.
And-
But I feel like they have a great young core, though, that if they lose those veterans, they're still all right. To be honest with you, Byron
Mhm.
Jones was a great signing. They still have their other corner on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
They have Kyle Van Noy was a great signing.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq Lawson's playing out of his mind. That defense is playing really well, and they might get a top 10 draft pick, bare none, depending on how Houston plays. That's a scary move.
Yeah.
And I'm in that division. That's a scary move. They might pass Buffalo next year. I'm just happy for more football, man. I'm happy the season has not been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
We're more than halfway through the season, and it's not canceled.
And we play a lot of great football too.
Oh,
Yeah,
great
we had a
games.
few, blow ups where the team's getting killed. But come on, every game's competitive.
It
It
is.
really is.
This year, you can
Yeah.
feel it, that it's kind of spread out. And I think that's because the Patriots aren't really there.
Well, I heard an interesting fact the other day with the Patriots. Do you know Bill hasn't been drafted that well?
No. Do I know that? Yes. I literally watched the draft, and it's the most boring thing ever as a Patriots
I
fan.
don't think any of these players that were drafted were from 4 years ago on this team right now. Once the rookie contracts are done, I don't think any of them start or play.
No, but also it's hard to, once a rookie contract is done, they're kind of want money, and we always tell people go get paid.
Even so, even 3 years ago, what player that was drafted 3 years ago that starts on this team?
I don't even know our draft picks. We don't ever draft in the first round. All we do is trade. Our 2 draft picks, actually, that's playing really well, is Isaiah Wynn at left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing very well, and he was unrestricted. We do so much better in the unrestricted free
Yes,
agency.
but Bill was also known for having great low draft picks, doing great in the 3rd, 4th round, which he hasn't recently.
Yeah, we kind of.
And that's why he said last week he traded in everything to win those Super Bowls.
I'm just happy we still have Stephon Gilmore. I thought Stephon was gone. The way they were making it seem.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody made it seem like Stephon was gone.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to get traded. I don't even know what we were going to get for him. What, we were going to get a 1st-round pick? Just one? That doesn't solve everything. And he was the reigning defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
How do you just trade that like that? It's annoying, but it's kind of how
Yeah,
it
but
works.
sometimes with the rebuild, like you have great guys. Sometimes if you have a great corner, right?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with him? If you're not a great
Corners
team,
changed the leagues, man.
yeah, but by the time the Pats get good again,
He's
he's
gonna be
gone.
older. Yeah.
he's gone.
You never know. We also have 8 people out on COVID. Not because they have COVID, because they opted out because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So we get all those 8 starters back. And remember, we got this pick now.
But all they changed, like they're not.
We're missing Dante Hightower, the most disrespected linebacker in the NFL. Him and Levante David are the top 2 most disrespected linebackers in the league.
But it's your offense.
That's why we have the pick. That's why we got to lose these games.
I think you need a big reset. You really need a big
We don't need a
reset
big
on offense.
reset at all. We need to lose these games.
Okay, you get a top pick.
If we get Trevor, we're back on top. No question about it.
You still have no wide receiver core.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
Never
it.
had.
Are you kidding me? Don't
Name-
worry about it.
Name the receivers that we won with.
Edelman,
Come on.
Gronk.
Tight end.
He was kind of as wide receiver there.
Nope. He blocked for us.
On your block.
Okay, so take those 2 receivers out because you could double team 2 players on the team. When they won the Super Bowl.
And then, who else was the wide receiver when they won the Super Bowl?
Come on, tell me. We got to win with them. don't
That's
know.
That's how bad they were.
Because they suck. So that's what I mean. You prove the point of we don't need a receiver.
No, you didn't even to go with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not here no more. You can have a rookie next year.
Do you know who Trevor Lawrence is?
Are you high?
I'm not high. I'm putting all my
You look high on life or something.
I'm putting all...
Are you kidding? Come on. You think Trevor Lawrence come in with a nobody team and actually do something?
Wins the Super Bowl within 3 years, without a doubt.
Get the hell out of here.
Within 3 years, he wins the Super Bowl on the New England Patriots. There's not even a question. Because our defense will still be stacked. Easily. How'd Brady get to all those Super Bowls? He played as great as he needed to be, and our defense did the rest.
Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, all make the wide receiver core better.
Okay.
Welker did nothing when he left. What's his name? Danny Amendola has done nothing since he left.
Of course.
All these guys do nothing once they leave that lead quarterback. You cannot come in with a rookie quarterback and win with this team.
Okay. That's you.
With the Bills progressing, Dolphins right behind them, the only team that beats the Jets. And the Jets are going to get better too.
I'm telling you right now, if the Patriots draft Trevor Lawrence, we're winning a Super Bowl within 3 years. There's no question about it. Easily.
You really believe in Bill Belichick? I don't think he'll be here in 3 years.
That's fine.
Matt,
we still have Josh McDaniels.
McDaniels can destroy that team.
No shot.
Just like he destroyed the Broncos.
The Broncos, yeah, because they went with Tebow. Tebow throws the ball like...
He believed in Tebow.
No, he did not. He didn't want to start him. There was a whole controversy about that. And the reason why they were winning games was because of that defense. Once again, that defense was holding teams down. They would win games 15-13. That's not a quarterback win. That's a defensive win. We saw it in the Super Bowl against the Rams. Rams-Patriots. That was a defensive win. Yeah. And we had Gronk and Edelman. But who won that game? The defense. Stephon Gilmore bowled out of his mind.
The Rams should even better that Super Bowl.
Okay, so who should have been there?
Saints.
And they would have got wiped too.
Saints were smoked them.
Yeah.
Smoked them.
Yeah, with their one...
They cannot stop Drew Brees like they stopped Goff like that. There's no way.
I think we would have played better against Brees than we did Goff.
No way.
Easily.
No way.
Easily. The Patriots take away your number one receiver. Who's their only receiver? Okay, fine. So name the backup receiver for the Saints that year. Because we all know Michael Thomas was there. We put Stephon Gilmore on him.
Yeah, Kamara there. Who else?
Okay.
I'm just
100%.
Well, that was a year.
So we stacked the box, right?
Okay.
Like we usually do. And then we put one under and one over on Michael Thomas. So we take away his little slant route, and then we take away the deep ball, which he doesn't really run because Drew Brees can maybe throw over 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Who they going to? Because we stacked the box for Kamara. And then we doubled that.
The other running back was on the team too.
Mark Ingram?
Ingram. I'm just trying to remember.
No, 100%. But we just stacked the box.
They had a really good O-line that year. The defense was good because they picked up Apple to help plug in.
Of course.
That. So they had a great defense.
But they didn't have Aaron Donald, who destroyed the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So now the Patriots score more.
No. I think that game changes. It's not a defensive game anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's a defensive game.
I think it's a blowout.
I don't think it's a blowout.
I think it's a blowout.
I don't think it's a blowout.
I think we win by 14 plus easy.
I think it turns into how the Patriots play against the Falcons, but Brees to hold on to that lead.
I don't think they don't get a lead on us like that. No shot.
I think they jump out quick.
No shot.
Bill Belichick's a halftime guy.
Of course.
At halftime, he'll readjust. I think the Saints would have came out, took the lead, made adjustments at halftime. I believe Brees would have made better adjustments.
Nah, man.
Oh, I think so.
No shot because we would have learned our lesson from last time where we put Eric Rowe and Alshon Jeffrey when the Patriots lost the Super Bowl to start the game. We wouldn't make that same mistake by putting a backup corner on Michael Thomas. We would just keep Stephon Gilmore on him the whole time. And then he's wiped. See you later. He's not even part of the game. So who you have? Just Kamara? We stack the box. They have nothing. That amazing offense is gone. We can't name the other receiver. We can't. I don't know.
Years ago. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
I'm not knocking you because I don't know it either.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know the other receiver. So who they going to? That game's right.
I gotta look it up. They were a high-powered team that year. They really
and they couldn't beat the Rams that we held to what? 3 points?
That Rams team, they were good, but they weren't a Super Bowl team. Mm-hmm. That was a defense-carried team. They cashed in with that defense.
That offense was crazy. Nobody understood how to stop the offense. That's when Sean McVay brought in the zone runs that they were so heavy with Todd Gurley.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Todd Gurley wasn't healthy in that game.
No, he was not.
He was healthy for the Saints game. He wasn't healthy for this game.
And Cooks wasn't healthy either. I thought.
No, Cooks was healthy. We just clamped him.
No, I thought he wasn't fully healthy. He was
100% healthy. He's just a deep ball threat, to be honest. He has amazing hands and can run routes, but he's a deep ball threat.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not beating the Patriots deep. It's not happening. Ask Tyreek up. Doesn't happen. I'm telling you, the receiving core wasn't that good.
Even bringing back to it, there's no way they win within 3 years.
I think they win in 3 years, without a doubt.
No way, you're crazy.
100%. How do we not? We've done it before. Brady's drafted in 99, 2000. Brady's drafted in 99, 2000. Patriots first Super Bowl, 2001.
Listen, you're one of those people who believe the past is the future. It's not. It's not. It's a whole different ball game up in New England.
I mean, when your team wins in 2 decades, is this dominant, how do you not have this belief?
It's over. Get done. Patriots.
I've heard this.
Done.
I heard this way too many times. You know this, right?
But now, listen, I'm
just saying, we've heard this way too many times.
I'm not a Belichick fan.
Mm-hmm.
I respect them both.
Mm-hmm.
I respect them both, but still, there's no way you could build this team up again. There's no way. There's too many great teams out there.
It's fine. Because you always got to remember, if we win, we're gonna win. We'll win the division.
Okay.
So teams have to come
You
through
really
us.
think you
Beating Buffalo,
Yeah.
yes. Beating Miami, yes.
Miami's only getting better. The Jets are only going to get better.
All right. If they don't get a new ownership like the Mets, like we said before, the Mets ain't getting better.
No.
They still got Adam Gase, and they haven't won a game.
Listen, if Gase ain't going in this season, there's going to be Jets Life Matter rise.
Oh, there has to be.
Like stadium.
I would be. If you're a Jets fan, you got to take.
That's a guarantee. Because I'm surprised he's still here. The only reason I think Gase is still here is because they let it ride out with him and let him get destroyed and then end up replacing everybody. No one from that coaching staff is going to stay.
I don't doubt you.
There's no way you can keep anyone from that coaching staff.
Wouldn't make any sense to.
Nope. You can't. You want to talk about a little bit of UFC?
Oh, of course. I'm always a UFC man. UFC is always my thing.
So
big news.
Is the big news.
Just announced on Twitter. Poirier just signed a contract to fight McGregor.
What was it, January 23rd is the date?
23rd. 3 days after my birthday.
McGregor still didn't sign. He verbally agreed.
Probably put it on Twitter.
But I tell you right now, he didn't agree yet because he wants the pay-per-views. That's always the debate. He wants the points.
And Dana's always kind of skeptical to put a 5-round fight that's not a title fight as a pay-per-view.
McGregor's the biggest pay-per-view draw, though.
Yeah, I think you got to do it if it's McGregor. If McGregor's name's attached, you just got to do it.
I mean, the Cowboy fight was huge.
That was over in 40 seconds.
Yeah,
You couldn't even ask for more.
You can't ask for a refund after the fight.
Oh, yeah, believe me, I know. I bought the fight. Definitely had that ESPN Plus, baby.
But that should be a great fight. That might turn into an interim title fight. So I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Of course, because Khabib only fights once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then another fight that's getting more info is the Jan versus Adesandra.
Mm-hmm.
That's scheduled for March.
Well, that's going to be a huge fight.
That's going to be huge.
If Izzy wins, it's going to destroy the UFC a little bit.
A little bit.
Because that's, you have 2 titles on hold.
He's going to be the Amanda Nunes.
And he's... Yeah, but...
Who's beating him as a middleweight?
No. I'm not
Oh, okay.
destroying that. Amanda's willing to jump up and down.
You don't think...
I think Izzy's going to release the title.
You think he's going to release the 185?
Because he really doesn't believe... what's his name that wants a rematch against him?
Whitaker?
He don't believe in Whitaker.
Whitaker said himself he doesn't even want a rematch. That's why he didn't give it... That's why Dana didn't sign that contract.
Well, Izzy said he's not fighting Whitaker. And he says Whitaker was not a challenge.
Well, if you saw the fight, he really wasn't.
Well, I'm just telling you from Izzy's point of view.
It was horrendous, that fight.
Yeah.
That was... See you later. But nah, I just... Yeah, like you said, he might kind of mess the UFC up.
Because now it's going to put divisions on hold.
Mm-hmm.
Then interim titles left and right.
And now, if he wins, does he just jump straight up to fight John?
That's
at heavyweight?
That's all. Now you're gonna hold up the heavyweight too.
Because then if they're both in heavyweight, how do you not give one of them a shot if they just won?
Izzy ain't fighting unless it's for a title.
Of course.
So
if Izzy beats John,
I really believe John comes down.
You think John goes to 205?
Yeah, because it hasn't been long enough time yet for John's. Like, John's probably didn't gain that much.
Nah, if you see on Twitter, John is looking a lot bigger.
Is he?
Yeah, a lot bigger than what he used to be.
Yeah.
He's not Bones no more. He's not Bones.
And if he got big already, then he might have to fight up first. I just can't see Izzy jumping into the heavyweights, man, this quick.
It's just too big for him. Because he looks fine at 185. Like, it doesn't look like a hard cut.
He looks fine at 185. I would believe he has a gain muscle for 205. But he don't have to gain too much.
Well, before we go anywhere, he's got to be Jan.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, his build-up for Jan. Like, I don't think he would have to cut weight.
No.
He might just go with walking weight.
He might walk in at 204.
Which might be scary, too, because, let me tell you, muscles and your weight really make a big difference.
Oh, it's speed, it's torque, it's everything to you. And if he's always been fighting around the same weight, he's not used to this.
Mm-hmm.
So he has 100+ fights. Yes, of course. No one's taking away from experience. But this might be new grounds for him.
With the strength of the fighter, too.
Yes.
These are guys who are 15, 20 pounds heavier, striking. That's
swinging with that force, yeah.
And that light heavyweight division, they are strikers.
Yeah.
They're strikers.
Yeah.
There's not these ground game guys that slow them fight. No, they're going to go for boom or bust. They're going to knock you out.
Dude, the Dominic Reyes versus Young fight that's all it was.
These guys are
they
hard. They can come in looking to take your head off.
Even Thiago Santos, his last fight, even though he lost, he dropped Teixeira in the first round.
Yes.
He's swinging for the fences.
I don't think Izzy's used to that.
Nope.
He fought a lot of technical fighters.
Robert Whittaker.
Guys who play with you. They might knock you out, but they play with you. They get, let's get my feet. Well, let's see what you got. What's your defense? Are you going to take me down? I'll take you down.
Yeah, he fought.
That's not happening in light heavyweight and heavyweight. These guys come out to look to knock your head off.
Yeah, he fought Derek Brunson, which was basically just a rush fighter who comes at you like this, and Izzy just picked him apart.
That's why John Jones and DC did so well in those divisions.
Oh, because they could do anything.
They could wrestle. They did things that big guys don't do.
Yeah. They're not used to that. Those 205 guys are supposed to be the crazy athletes. They couldn't do it. They got manhandled. And that's why
DC had power.
Oh,
they could outfight a guy.
DC knocked out Stipe.
Yeah.
Knocked out clean Stipe. Cleanly knocked out the heavyweight champion after fighting for 205 for the majority of his career.
Yeah.
And John's about to go in that. I can't wait to see John Jones at heavyweight. Imagine John not cutting weight.
Listen, did you see the video of him chasing the guy who started breaking his house and breaking his cars?
Dude, how dumb do you got to be? You know what? Today I'm gonna rob the #1 fighter on the planet. I'm gonna go rob that guy.
They're probably the most dangerous man without a weapon.
And that man owns a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
He lives in New Mexico.
Yes.
He's got that thing on him at all times.
Yes.
That guy's lucky he made it out alive.
Oh, yeah.
He's lucky he got back in the car.
It's like even Reinhardt when the guy broke into his house.
Fucking idiots.
Reinhardt said if his kids weren't dead,
killed them.
He says he would have went after him quicker. But he was more afraid because he was close to their bedroom.
Yeah.
He was more afraid he might run to a bedroom if he would have just jumped right out.
I mean, criminals are dumb, so they don't make the best life decisions.
Yes.
And then I think, finally, on the UFC note, it's Derek Lewis versus Curtis Blades. I think, how do you disrespect one of them from not getting a title shot after this Francis and Stipe fight?
The division is such a mess. It's like how, McGregor's division, man, like you have so many it's so top heavy. It's crazy where, you have in the lower weights, it's just a mess. You have no real contenders.
Yeah.
But these heavyweight guys, all these guys could be a chair.
Because they'll have one-punch power.
Yeah.
Besides Blades. Blades is kind of the wrestler that brings you down and beats the shit out of you.
Blades still has a nice...
Oh, no, he knocked out RDJ. So it all depends on who comes to fight. It's also nice, though, because Stipe has never fought Lewis or Blades. But if Francis wins, Francis versus Lewis is probably one of the worst fights in UFC history. And then Francis beat Blades twice already. knocking him out.
Well, if you get Francis versus Lewis, it's going to be first or second round.
That's what everybody thought the first time. And they barely even touched each other.
And it's really, because Lewis can't. I mean, you've seen against DC, he just gasses out. Even when he won against, what's his name, the Russian.
Oh, Volkanovski?
When he fought him, he was done.
Oh.
I don't know how he got that punch off
He
to win.
threw every 10% of the stamina he had left in his body in that punch.
Because you see, after the fight, he just fell to the ground. He had nothing left.
Yeah, well, that's what you should. That's what you ask of your fighters.
Oh, yeah, you want to get your money's worth out of them.
Of course, we're talking about this as a, they fight on Saturday, so I guess a Sunday night fighter. As in the sense of, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But from our point of view, this is what we see. And it's just, I would love to see Derek Lewis versus Stipe. But I think it would be the same thing. I think it'd be the same thing as DC.
That's why I don't want to see it. Lewis is good in the middle of the ring fights. You love him. You love his attitude, how he talks.
You love his controversy, all the shit he says.
Like, it's great, but is he a championship fighter?
No.
No.
He's like Mark Hunt.
He comes in, gets his paycheck, goes home.
He's the new Mark
and
Hunt.
eats his chicken wings. Like
legit. He's legit the new Mark Hunt. Come in, walk off KOs, that it looks amazing. Is he going to be a champion? No.
The sad part is, if he actually gave...
A fuck? Besides just throwing a right hand?
Or trained?
Yeah.
If he trained?
Well, he said he's been leaner. He actually doesn't really have to make a crazy cut anymore for 265. He doesn't make that big of a cut.
He never cut, really.
Yeah, he had to cut crazy.
Well, not crazy. When he actually started training for DC and all that, when he said he worked out an hour a day, he didn't have to cut. But when he really don't care no more, he has to cut. But when he starts getting I bet you now, since he's in that picture again,
yeah.
Because you gotta remember, once you're in that picture, when the spotlight's on you, the paychecks are coming in, the endorsements are coming in.
Of
So
course.
that means, all right, you know
and
what?
He's marketable.
I'll go on a bike for an hour today.
He has so much power in that right hand that if he just learned to jab, he might throw the division on its side.
He learns takedown defense.
Yeah.
Give me that. Just give me takedown defense.
A little sprawl action.
Just give me some takedown defense, man.
Yeah.
Go call DC and maybe DC can help you a little bit with
100%. 100%. Man. But it's just, I don't think he will. Because he loves the one punch knockout. He loves to sit in there just holding that hand, and he's like, if you fuck up one time, you're going to sleep.
Plus, I just think it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's the easier way for him.
Guess what? You don't have to watch tape. You don't have to prepare. Like guys like, Masvidal and all them, McGregor. McGregor watched tape for hours, find out one weakness, and just sit for it.
Yeah, Derek Lewis might just show up and fight. Like he's backyard wrestling on some Kembo
That's what
Slice
Lewis
shit.
does.
On some Kembo Slice shit? I think that's what he does. No disrespect to him if he doesn't, but
that's
my personal opinion. That's what I think he does.
Yeah.
I think he shows up, like, I'm going to fight that dude across from me.
Yeah, make sure, dot the I on the check, cross the T's.
Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
From Texas.
Yeah, the Longhorns, baby.
Yeah, parties in Texas after the fight.
Yeah.
But here, I just seen an interesting fact. About football, bring it back a little bit. Do you know the last team to win the Super Bowl that was 8-0 was?
What wasn't Patriots?
2009 Saints.
Really?
That's how far back 8-0 teams don't win Super Bowls.
Nah. Most undefeated teams don't win Super Bowls.
And like we were talking about earlier, do you think this is the downhill for Pittsburgh now? Can this be the beginning of where they start to struggle? With Big Ben,
It all depends on their playoff picture, where they end up. If they have to go play road games, not saying they're a bad road team, or they're not, they can't play in weather because they play in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
But that home atmosphere changes everything. So if they have to play a road game now because of this little stint of COVID, it might change everything.
Yeah, but home field is thrown out. Vegas and I are looking at home fields right now.
But that's now. Remember, we're talking a couple months from now.
It could be worse.
Could be better.
COVID could be worse.
COVID. We gotta hope there's a league. Cases are going up, man.
That's what I'm saying. These teams are getting affected left and right. We might not make it to playoffs.
Well, they always got to worry about the Chiefs anyway, being in the AFC.
AFC done it. You got the Ravens. You got the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Titans. Titans are always a hassle for people. Derrick Henry late in the game, he just runs hard.
Mm-hmm.
Runs so hard. I don't think he's as great as he is.
Indianapolis is still up there in the talk.
Of course.
There's a lot of teams that could
Teams will surprise you. There's always that one team that just fucks everything up no matter what they do.
Yeah.
They just show up and like, I'm just going to win this week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. Oh, we even took Buffalo. Also in the AFC. AFC looks good, man.
AFC's the dangerous. It's always been the dangerous.
A lot of people always said the NFC. I was never truly scared of the NFC. So I was happy when the Patriots went to the Super Bowl.
Hey, you know what? The NFC, we have a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFC.
Yeah. Breeze, Brady, Rodgers.
Even if you bring it back, you always had Eli.
Favre.
You had, Romo. Like, you had guys who could play.
Favre for the majority of his career. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Rodgers.
Yep.
Breeze always been there. Well, I feel old. Cam Newton used to be there when he was dominant. So that, NFC, when you have an established quarterback, you're always dangerous.
Always. There's only one way to find out.
Do you think Newton's still next week playing?
Yeah, of course. Newton played great.
He played great against the Jets.
Doesn't matter.
How much longer do you think he has? How big of a leash does he have, you think?
Oh, very short leash. Because if we take him out, we're not trying to win anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not mad. You know what I mean? Being a fan of seeing the top, I have no problem seeing the bottom. I'm not going to be one of those guys that are like, oh, fuck this team. That no, I understand what's going on.
Well, that's a true fan.
You got to
all those Knicks fans who the Nets start winning.
Oh, now everybody's a
Net
Net fan now because of Kyrie and Kate. Get out of here. You guys were Knicks fans.
Even before that, when they had a good year, before they got that, everyone's like, oh, I'm a Net fan. No, you aren't.
No one was a Net fan. They used to be in Jersey.
Yeah.
Nobody was a Net fan.
Or people who weren't true Met fans, they're going to come out now. Once they
I can't wait for that. Oh, I've always been. Through the down, up and down. Get out of here. You were a Yankee fan with me. I heard we were chanting together.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Same thing with the Mets in the World Series. You were a Yankee fan last
year. Yeah, what are you talking about?
You're a Met fan?
Yeah, get the fuck out. Oh, I root for New York.
All the people I follow LeBron, I go to wherever team he goes to.
It's not a problem. Don't see that as a problem at all. I selected my player. Wherever he goes, I will go with him. When he retires, I will pick a team. Randomly.
That's so low.
Randomly, I'm going to pick a team. I'm literally just going to have a random randomizer. I'm going to hit a button. Whatever team it is, I'm going to be a diehard team for that.
Yeah, next year you're going to have little Chief pictures here.
No, shot.
I
hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, you're going to be on another team.
Hey, they don't beat us, though.
And so you can have some Dolphins.
When it matters.
You look like a Sunshine State type of guy.
When it matters, they didn't beat us.
I was listening to, they were talking about Bill Belichick might go to the Giants.
Again? I wouldn't be surprised if he could probably become the fucking owner.
No, GM or, president of operations. Because remember, he had really good,
He loves the Giants. He talks about them all the time. He loves the Giants.
When him and Coughlin went together.
He loved it. He loved them two being under Bill Parcells was amazing.
Yep.
So if he can, then the Giants can completely turn that whole system around. Bill goes there.
Especially with Judge. He knows Judge.
Judge was the special teams coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It fits. Help McDaniels for a few years. And you know what? I go.
He sets up them and then cashes up his check in the Giants because that's a smart move if I believe it.
Mm-hmm. Anything else this week, Fred?
All right, man. I think we're pretty solid this week. We had a lot of information.
Yep. Guys, again, you're always welcome to chat, to type what you want, ask us questions. We're willing to answer anything you want. Also, guys, we pop this on YouTube probably tomorrow, maybe. We'll be on Anchor tomorrow. All the other good stuff. We're on Apple Podcasts.
Officially on Apple Podcasts.
Spotify. We're always on Instagram. We're always on TikTok. We try to do as much as we can. You guys help us, like everything, do what you can, help us get the views up. Yep,
we're just trying to grow together. It's a built together community. That's kind of our goal.
Our goal is to be on Tuesdays around 5:30, Fridays around 11.
Yeah.
That's where our goal is. We're going to try to be as consistent as we can with that. Get up the videos for you guys. Even listen to us again. Give us some comments.
Anything you need to say.
Email us. I emailed or hooked up with all the sites. You can email us. Give us any questions.
Instagram DMs, TikTok Messenger, whatever you want to do. We're still on Twitter if you want to talk to us there. Whatever you guys want to do.
We'll take questions and answer them next time if you guys want anything.
100%. We'll have a whole question section. If we get questions, no problem. It's never a problem.
Anyone wants to edit our videos too for free.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very happy with that too.
Editing is... it's your job.
Yeah.
Well,
Frank, any goodbyes? Anything else?
See you guys in the next one.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you again Friday.